Whoa, look at this scores. Intel's 12th Gen Core i7 processor finally managed to outperform the Apple M1 chip on the MacBook Air in multi-core scores. This is just incredible.
Isn't it incredible?
This is the 2022 Asus ZenBook 14 OLED, and it is the most exciting ZenBook that I have reviewed on the channel. It's got a whole new identity that does away with the spin effect that we have been seeing for many years, while having a 16:10 aspect ratio OLED display that's great for productivity. And this unit I have here is powered by Intel's Alder Lake P processor. It's time to find out more on what it offers and why I am such a big fan. The ZenBook 14 OLED remains some of the design hallmarks of its predecessor, such as the ergo-lift hinge that raises the keyboard. It is noticeably slimmer than its predecessor and now measures a mere 1.69 cm and weighs 1.39 kg, which is lighter than the 14-inch MacBook Pro. The display hinges feels more premium and robust than its predecessor, which you can easily lift the screen up with one hand and it goes all the way down to a flat 180 degree. Now, speaking of the display here, the 14-inch OLED panel pushes a 2880 by 1800 pixel resolution with a 500 nits peak brightness and refreshes at a buttery smooth 90 Hz. It is unfortunately not a touch panel, but there's really no need for one on such a form factor. Colors are vibrant and accurate, and Asus continues to include OLED burn-in protection through its My Asus app. The laptop speakers are now Dolby Atmos certified and sounds way better than its predecessor with louder volume and deeper bass. But they fire sound downwards and still doesn't sound as good as other Ultrabooks. Although the HD webcam lacks an IR sensor for Windows Hello login, it produces better image quality than its predecessor with lesser noise in less ideal lighting. You can also configure various video effects through the My Asus app as well. Biometrics login is now serviced by a trusty fingerprint reader that's built into the power button, which Asus has gave a solid key and swap it with the delete key to avoid accidental presses. The keyboard offers a decent typing experience just like previous ZenBooks with proper sized keycaps and good key travel. The trackpad has a smooth anti-fingerprint glass surface and supports the NumberPad 2.0 capacitive numpad. But thankfully this round, the NumberPad 2.0 can be disabled through the My Asus app. Port selection is also very impressive considering how slim the laptop is. You get two Thunderbolt 4 USB-C ports, a full-size HDMI 2.0 port, a microSD card slot and an audio jack on the right, and one single full-size USB 3.2 Gen 2 port on the left. To be honest, I would have preferred if Asus had the second USB-C port placed on the left for charging convenience. My review unit is the top configuration model that Asus sells in the Malaysian market that comes equipped with an Intel Core i7 1260p processor which comprises of 4 performance cores and 8 efficient cores. It is complemented by 16 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM and 512 gigs of PCIe 4.0 storage. The instant impression I got when booting up the laptop for the first time is how responsive it is when launching apps even when it is running on battery. That's because the 8 efficient cores can reach up to 3.4 GHz when it needs to, unlike older Intel processors that usually operate less than 2 GHz on battery. Although Intel's Arc graphics is not available right here, I was curious on the laptop's gaming performance with a more powerful Intel Xe graphics. Hence, I tried running some AAA game titles while enabling performance mode on the My Asus app that could crank the processor's power up to 33 watts. It handles indie titles like Triumph 4 really well on medium graphics setting at 2.8K resolution, and I could get 30 frames per second on Shadow of the Tomb Raider with the lowest graphics setting on 1200p resolution. But ultimately, I don't recommend gaming on it due to the limited thermal system. It only has a single fan dissipating heat through a single vent on the left. CPU temperatures can hit scary high temperatures of 102 degrees Celsius, which you really don't want to do that too often. I also ran Geekbench 5 on the ZenBook 14 OLED and compared to my M1 MacBook Air. The former managed to outperform the latter in multi-core scores. That's very impressive, and if the thermals are done better, it could possibly outperform the Apple M1 chip because of the Core i7 1260p is a processor that is capable of reaching a TDP of 60 watts, and it is sadly limited to 34 watts on the ZenBook 14 OLED. In terms of battery life, the ZenBook 14 OLED lasted me around 6 hours on a single charge, which might not be as impressive as its predecessor, but considering that it has a higher resolution display running at 90Hz, it is a reasonable battery life, and I wish Asus had implemented a software switch for automatically switching the refresh rate to 60Hz when running on battery. So overall, the 2022 Asus ZenBook 14 OLED is an impressive upgrade over its predecessor in terms of design and performance. But what's even more impressive is the laptop starting price. It is available in Core i5 and i7 models with 16GB of RAM and 512GB of storage as standard. It retails from 4,399 and up to 5,599 ringgit here in Malaysia, which is actually slightly cheaper than the ZenBook 14X OLED at launch. This is definitely one exciting laptop to own, and I recommend that you go check out at stores. So that's all for my review of the 2022 Asus ZenBook 14 OLED. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and be sure to subscribe to us and give us a thumbs up if you like what you saw, and I'll see you guys in our next video.